Hey guys, welcome to Buzzwordathon round 5. So I decided that I was going to vlog this week because I haven't vlogged since Reading Rush and I thought it might be fun. So reading plans for the week, if you haven't seen my TBR, are Station 11, which is my only adult novel that I have on my TBR. I also have 2 middle grade novels, Fever 1793 and Counting by Sevens. And then the balance of my TBR is graphic novels. So I have a couple of March volumes, so those are nonfiction, and then a couple of saga volumes that I would like to get to this week. So the game plan is to physically read Station 11. I'm actually buddy reading this with Bex from Bex Reads Books. So I think that will be a lot of fun and kind of keep me motivated to keep me going through this week. And then I'm planning on doing my 2 middle grade reads via audiobook. So I think that'll work out well. And then once I get done with this, I will reward myself by allowing myself to do some graphic novels. So I think that that's a good kind of plan of attack going into the week. I have a few things going on this week, but I don't think it'll be too much for me to get this stuff read. My kids are actually off school today, so they're off playing right now, and so I think I might try to get a little bit of Station 11 read right now. And yeah, we have Taekwondo tonight, so that'll be fun. But not much else going on today. So I will check back in with you guys once I get into some of these books. But yeah, I will check in with you guys later.
Then take both arms up, both of them. Step together so you can yell. Grab the ear.
Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday morning. I am getting up and getting ready because I have MOPS this morning. MOPS is a mom's group for mothers of preschoolers, and I still have one that isn't in school yet. Oh my goodness. So I can still participate. But anyway, so I have that this morning. I am making some sausage gravy and biscuits to take because I signed up to help bring food this morning. So I need to get that going and make lunches. None of my kids are buying school lunch today, so I need to make all their lunches. Yay. I am not the mom who loves making lunches, but buying school lunches for 3 kids gets too expensive. So anyway, I am going to get my makeup on and get ready to go. And then we're going to get this show on the road. But while I'm getting ready, I thought that I would share with you about my reading yesterday. So I got a few chapters into Station 11. I'm only about 5 chapters in. I'm enjoying it so far. It's the chapters are really short, so it's not very many pages. Probably only like 20 pages in. But woo, I need to be pushing things over. Where did I put my, there it is. But I'm enjoying it. So far it's about a theater group that I can tell, and they're in Toronto, and a flu pandemic is breaking out. And everybody's getting sick and dying. And so that's kind of where we're at, is that, and it's, like I said, it's the first 20 pages of the book, so it's not too spoilery. Oh my goodness, doing this is not easy. But anyway, so that's good. I'm enjoying that so far. I probably need to spend a little bit more time reading that one today. But I'm also reading Fever 1793, and I'm about halfway through that audiobook already. So That one is about another fever outbreak, which I thought was really fun that both of those kind of coincided. So that one is about the yellow fever outbreak in Philadelphia in 1793. If you can hear my kids screaming, they're fine. They're just getting along. So anyway, but yeah, so that one, they're both about fever outbreaks, only like 250 years apart. But anyway, so the one about the yellow fever outbreak is, I don't know, I'm enjoying it. It was a little bit slow at the start. It is about a little girl. I honestly don't even know how old she is. I don't know why my son is screaming, but he's just mad at his sister. He'll be fine. But anyway, so I don't know how old the main character is. I want to say she's probably like 11 or 12. But one of her friends dies of yellow fever, and just yellow fever is kind of breaking out, and she lives in Philadelphia, and it's just kind of about how everybody's reacting to it. Some people are taking it really seriously, and like you need to evacuate town and go out to the country because it's healthier out there because of all the fresh air. And some people are like, whatever, everybody's making this all up. But then like hundreds and hundreds of people are dying. And so, I don't know. I think it's really interesting. So, that's what that one is about. Like I said, they both have to do with a fever outbreak, which I didn't even know I was doing that. So, are like reading books about the same thing. So, that's fun. Game plan is to finish Fever 1793 today and make it some serious headway with Station 11. So that's the game plan for today. I'm going to go get this show on the road, and I will check in with you guys later.
I'm sorry for my grease splatter.
Hey guys, so it is Wednesday now. Don't mind this mess. This is total mom van situation going on. But yeah, so it's Wednesday. Book-wise, I have still only read like 30 40 pages of Station 11, but I'm loving it so far. We've gotten to the point where I understand like what the flu epidemic I was talking about, that is like the cause of the post-apocalyptic situation that the rest of the book is about. So I like that we kind of got that precursor to it at the beginning, and I'm really excited to actually get back to reading that more this afternoon maybe. I am about 75% of the way through Fever 1793, and last night finally got around to like Wikipedia researching, which, you know, whatever, the yellow fever epidemic in Philadelphia that actually happened in 1793, and to this day is one of the worst epidemics that has ever hit the United States. So that was really interesting to read about, and I'm really enjoying the book and how it's from a kid's perspective and how they're handling the yellow fever epidemic. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. Plan for today is I am at the library right now. I'm going to take my son to story time. I have a hold to pick up, and I need to check out some picture books for my 5-year-old because we read picture books to her before bed, and I like keeping a stock of library books to read to her for that. So I'm going to do that, and then after that, I am on a mission to find Christmas pajamas for my kids. So I get Christmas pajamas for the kids, matching pajamas every year. The problem is I have 4 kids that range in size. So like my oldest daughter is 9 and my youngest son is 2. And so trying to find something that matches, for that big of an age range or size range is difficult. And it's the week before Thanksgiving, and at this point, a lot of things are already sold out, which is ridiculous in my opinion, but whatever. So we're going to do the library, and then I'm going to see if I can go find Christmas pajamas, and I figured I'll take you along. And while I'm out and about, I will continue listening to Fever 1793. But yeah, so let's get going and enjoy story time in the library. I'm so excited. I love the library so much. So, all right, let's go. Okay, go on.
water blue, put a comfy red mattress on it, and took it to the bedroom. "There you are, dear boy," said Granny. "Now climb into bed. Lay your head on your pillow."
All right, let's go. I'm finally home from running errands and the library and all of that. I did finish Fever 1793. Loved it. 4 stars. You all know that like I don't give 5 stars very easily, so it wasn't quite a 5-star, but 4 stars. I thought it was a really good middle grade historical fiction. It was very educational. It touched on a lot of topics having to do with the yellow fever epidemic that happened. And so it talked about the African Relief Society, and it talked about the doctors that were prevalent during that time. It talked about racism and the role that African Americans played in, you know, helping and with the fever. It talked about orphanages and how that happened. It talked about how Philadelphia was the capital of the United States at that time, and how the President Washington lived there and the government was run there, and how did the government react to it and all that. So I really like that. Also, at the end of the book, there was like an appendix where it had a bunch of information about what really happened, like factual information to like follow the story up with. And I really like that, especially for middle graders that are reading the book, so that when they get to the end, they can say, okay, this is what is true in the book. This is a little bit of additional information for them to learn more about it. And so I just thought it was great because it is definitely a time and an event that not a lot of people talk about. And I thought it was fantastic. So 4-star read. And then, yeah. So now I'm going to go read some more of Station 11. My kids are going to be home here really shortly. But I'm going to try to get some of Station 11 read. And then I might start a graphic novel tonight too. I'm kind of in the mood for a graphic novel. So maybe I will start one of those tonight too. And yeah, so I will check in with you guys later. Hey guys, so it is now Thursday. I have been spending the entire day cleaning because we are hosting a potluck at our house this afternoon, or this evening. And yeah, so I have my soup in the crock pot for that already. And the house is ready to go. And I just got a package from Amazon that I thought that I would share with you. So earlier this week, I placed an order on Amazon for something really exciting for this next year that I'm going to be doing on my channel. And probably not a lot of people are going to be surprised to see what it is, but I ordered my very first bullet journal. So I'm really excited. It's just a dotted grid navy blue bullet journal. I might get a sticker or something to put on the top of it, on the front of it, because, you know, why not? But I ordered these, and then I also ordered a like a variety pack of the Micron pens. So this one has 6 pens in it, and it goes anywhere from 0.2 millimeters to 0.5 millimeters. So, and that's just the thickness, and they're all black. And then yesterday when I was at Michael's, I also picked up a white, silver, and gold gel pen to use with that as well. So I have never done bullet journaling before, but I watch everybody's journal with me videos, especially the bookish ones, and I love them. And I do have a bookish journal, like a book journal that I keep, but I want to do the bullet journal thing. So we'll see. Stay tuned. I'm excited to get started with I'll probably do some plan with me's, and I'm really excited for that. And then the other thing that I ordered, since I was placing an order, is a new coloring book. So I really like the color by number ones that are geometric. So like this one, it has the different numbers and what color they represent, and then it's just a bunch of triangles. And whatever number is in the triangles, you color it, and they make all different pictures. So that's what I do a lot when I'm listening to audiobooks. I'll do that, and I find it very soothing. So yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on around here. Book-wise, I am halfway through Station 11. I switched over to the audiobook and listened to that all day today while I was cleaning, and I really like the audiobook. The book itself is very different than what I was expecting. It is post-apocalyptic, but it's kind of dual timeline, so you're getting before the collapse, is what they call it, and then after the collapse, what's going on, and you're kind of trying to piece together what all the pieces from before the collapse, what they mean after the collapse. And yeah, it's just kind of weird, and I like it, but I'm trying to figure out kind of where it's going right now. I'm halfway through, really enjoying it. Gonna continue listening to that. Who knows? I might start one of these and listen for a while. But then the other thing that I want to start today is March Book 2. So I did not get a chance to start any graphic novels yesterday, and I really want to get at least one done this week, and it's already Thursday. It's Thursday and I've only completed one book. So not the best reading week that I've had, but we're gonna go with it. So I have finished one book, halfway through another, and I want to get some of this done. So I have about an hour before the kids get home from school. I think I'm just gonna go sit and read. My son's napping. I got all my housework done, so I can take a break for a little bit and read. And I think I'm gonna read this. So yeah, that's the game plan for the evening. So I guess I'll catch up with you guys later. Hey guys, so it is now Saturday morning. I didn't get any footage of our get together with our friends Thursday night because we were just having a good time and I was doing my thing, so didn't get that. And then yesterday I went with a friend. I took my son to this train store up in St. Paul. They have a really cool setup where it's like a store that sells toy trains, but then there are a bunch of train tables set up that the kids can play with. So we went up there with them and my son played for a while and it was just a lot of fun. But yesterday I was able to finish Station 11. I don't really know how to explain my thoughts about this book. I'm still thinking about it. It is definitely not what I was expecting at all. Like, not even a little bit. I'm still very confused about parts of it. But it was good. I ended up giving it 4 stars. And I think it's because I really enjoyed reading it. My reading experience with it kept me interested. I was constantly wondering what was going to happen next.
But when I got to the end, I was very confused about certain aspects of the book and why they were even put in the book, and because they don't really serve a purpose, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was good though. Um, Station 11, now that I know more about it, I can kind of tell you. It is post apocalyptic, but you're getting different timelines. So you start the book the day that there's a flu like pandemic, and we start the book the day that the flu hits North America. And it's set in Toronto, and that's kind of the starting off point. And then from there, you flash forward to 20 years in the future and kind of where this pandemic has left people. The pandemic killed off 99% of the population. And so pretty much civilization has ceased to exist the way that it did previously. There's no electricity, there's no gasoline, like for cars. So people are pretty much back to living off the land and that sort of thing. And kind of how they are adjusting to that after having cell phones and the internet and computers and travel. Like, you thinking people got stranded in North America who were here on vacation or on a business trip, whose families lived in Europe or Asia, and they can't talk to them. There's no mail, there's no way to get to them because there's no ships that can run that are big enough to take people. Like, air travel is not a thing anymore. And so it's just very interesting. It reminded me a lot of, there was an old show, I want to say it might have been on ABC, it was called Revolution. And it's pretty much like the lights go out, you know, like electricity and all the satellites all stop working. And so it's kind of like how things go from there. It was interesting, but it jumped around a lot. So you get a lot of like before the pandemic and then after the pandemic. And there's a ton of characters. There's so many characters in this book, and it's not that long. And so it was just kind of confusing. But it was good. I don't know. 4 stars. I don't know. Oh, and we follow this like traveling symphony. So what I had heard before is that it was about a traveling symphony or entertainment group, and it was post-apocalyptic. And so we're kind of following this traveling symphony, which they play music, but they also perform Shakespeare. And I thought that was going to play a bigger role in the book, but it really doesn't. It's just kind of what these people do, but that's not really a focal point in the book. So anyway, it was good. 4 stars. I also just finished March Book 2. I love this. I'm going to go pick up book 3 and try to read that today as well. But this is the second book in a trilogy of nonfiction graphic novels that are about John Lewis, who is a congressman. I finally looked it up. He is still a congressman out of Georgia, but he was very, very active in the civil rights movement in the 1960s. And for example, this book right here kind of focused more on the March on Washington in 1963. And he spoke at that march. And of all the people that spoke, he's the only one that's still alive. So I just find so much to learn in this book that I didn't already know. A lot of the in-depth things that I knew about the civil rights movement, and you hear a lot about Martin Luther King Jr., but from somebody else's perspective that was there, that was meeting the president and Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. and some of the really big players in this that we don't hear a lot about all the time. And so I just think that these are absolutely fantastic. 5 stars, and I'm going to go pick up the third one and hopefully read that today. I'm also listening to Counting by Sevens. I don't know if I'm going to finish that for this readathon, but I'm going to try, and I just started listening to it. So I think the plan today is to do laundry because, on life, and read March Book 3 and then listen to Counting by Sevens as I'm doing things. So that's kind of the game plan. So, yeah, I'll check in with you guys later and let you know if I am able to finish any more books But so far I'm at 3 for the week, so I'm good with that. If that's all I get to, that's all I get to. But we'll see if I can knock out another 1 or 2 here in the next couple of days. So I will talk to you guys later.
Okay, so it is now Monday. Buzzwordathon is over. I was able yesterday, Sunday, to get through the vast majority of Counting by Sevens, and I also made it over halfway through March Book 3, but I didn't finish them yesterday. I finished them this morning though, so I'm still counting them. They are complete. So that all being said, I was able to complete 5 books for the readathon, which I'm happy with. So even though 2 of them technically I finished this morning, I'm still counting it because I can. So March books 2 and 3, I gave book 2 5 stars. I gave book 3 4 stars. The only reason I gave the last one 4 stars was because at the beginning, like the first half of it got a lot into the political stuff and the different organizations that were involved and all of the law process. And honestly, I just got really confused and I didn't really understand a lot of what was going on. But I still loved this story. I think that John Lewis's story is so important. I think that anybody could learn a lot from these books, and I'm really, really glad that I read them. They were heartbreaking, they were terrifying, but I think that they're important, and I really, really respect him as a person. Even if I don't agree with necessarily his political agenda, I still think that as a human being, he is a remarkable person, and I really, really respect that. So these were amazing, loved them. And those were nonfiction. And then really quickly to wrap these other ones up, we have Station 11. This was a buddy read for me. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. And yeah, it was confusing, but I enjoyed it. And so I landed on 4 stars. I have a middle grade historical fiction, Fever 1793, which I thought was fantastic. 4 stars. I learned a lot this week between these and the March books about the Yellow Plague. This one is about in 1793 in Philadelphia, and it was great. 4 stars. And then we have Counting by Sevens, which I didn't really know much about going in to it, and I started listening to this audiobook, and this story, I finished it this morning. I only had like 45 minutes left of the audiobook this morning, so I finished it really quick and ended up just crying. It was so beautiful. This is a story of Willow Chance, who is a genius. Think like Sheldon Cooper, Big Bang Theory genius. She's 12 years old. She scores a perfect on her standardized test, and so her teachers kind of flag her and say, you cheated, you have to go see a counselor. And so we get to learn about her kind of relationship, not like that, but her, with her counselor, and, how he depicts her. We also learn in the first chapter that her parents die, and she doesn't really have any next of kin. And so, where does that leave her? And she's just a very peculiar child. And so nobody really quite knows what to do with her. And the narrator for this was fantastic. She really embodied the lack of emotion in Willow. And when she was narrating it, just really got straight to the point. And everything was very factual. And why are they doing this? Because I don't feel like this should be an issue. And it was absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Highly, highly recommend. Gave this one 5 stars. So glad that I finally got around to reading this. This has been on my TBR for forever. And yeah, so this is technically a middle grade, but it was absolutely fantastic. So 5 stars. So of the week, I had 3 4 stars and 2 5 stars, and I call that a major, major win. So these are the books that I got through this week. I hope that you had a
fantastic Buzzword Readathon if you participated. If not, I hope that you had a fantastic reading week otherwise. And yeah, that does it for me this time. So I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!